We're going to change continent. Now we're going to move to Asia. We're going to Thailand. And we'd like to invite Decha Chotepanitses. He's working for the Ship Standard Bureau in Thailand, Maritime Administration. He's an engineer. He's responsible now for the creation of policy and equipment standard on ships. Before that, he was working in Samut Sakhong province. This is the capital of fisheries in Thailand. And there he was responsible for the control of fishing vessels. And he was cleaning up the detained vessels around the world. He was also cleaning up the ship registry of Thailand. And he was maintaining the database, producing data for the ministry. He has been very active in cooperation with the fisheries department and with fishing vessels owners. He also controlled demolition of fishing vessels and deleted the data. So has been a very vast experience in what's happening. He has been also working for the Port In and Port Out Office, which is a joint office on fisheries law enforcement and monitoring of fishing vessels. And now he will make a presentation, but I think he forget to mention also that he has been very active and he worked a lot on the implementation of the Convention 188 of the ILO in Thailand. Thank you very much and welcome.
First of all, I have to thank you, Professor Bomler, for introduce me as like very important person, but actually I did just really small job only. And actually, you may not see me today because last night I considered to be here or just run away. Because I think myself, I'm not ready, but the life is not ready any time anyway. We have to move on. Like fishing in Thailand, I think a lot of the ships owner they are thinking they are not ready to do it to move on the IUU fishing to get rid of it. But anyway, in Thai we consider to combat the IUU fishing. If you have if you saw my photo, the previous one, my photo on the bio, that one is the first time I engaged to the IUU fishing. Because actually I was in the area, there is no fishing. So I was asked to engage the chip verification at that time. I will speak later. And anyway, today I'm gonna speak about Thailand IU background, not too deep, and IU fishing tackle aspect. That what I think about, which is fisher, fishing license, and the fishing boat, and also how we can control the license, and then the new regulatory body that we established during the IU fishing combat. Okay. For the background, as you have seen, Thailand, we have two sides of coastal area. One is Gulf of Thailand, and one is the Andaman Sea. We claim that we have totally about 420,280 square kilometer of EEZ. Actually, we have one JDA around here between Thailand and Malaysia that we explore and produce some oil and gas over there. Thailand, we have about there are 513,120 kilometers of the land, but the also we have 3,184.2 kilometers of the coastal line in both sides conclude in both sides, Andaman Sea and Gulf of Thailand. Is we have I will not say we have really large area, but we have plenty easy to explore the fish, and also our territorial contact close to the Myanmar for the Andaman Sea North, also Andaman Sea South, we close to the Malaysia, both side Gulf of Thailand also, and the north side we connect to Cambodia Sea. Yeah. So some fish owner they have a fishing boat operated in the Gulf of Thailand, and some days they think they have very a few fish, so they have to move their fishing boat from Gulf of Thailand to Andaman Sea. I have seen they transfer their boat by truck through this area, and actually also they have two huge fishing boat, so they have to cross the strait, this one, to Singapore Strait. So fishing in Thailand, fish owner they fish a lot. They try to fish more and more. I have talked to one fish owner. They said before IUU fishing, they invest like one boat, one boat, and then they can gain what they invest back in just only 3 or 4 months only. But after IUU fishing measure, we try to control it, so it kind of change that they don't expect. Otherwise, I imagine if we don't control how much they're gonna explore and how much is gonna be left. Okay. For fisherman, fishing boat, and fishing license, actually, I would like to display the number of it in the past and at the present, but I found out that some of the number is not so clear. Luckily, FAO is not here, otherwise she will catch me up. Anyway, I have checked that on the 13th October this year, we have totally about 58,155 features in the system. For Thai fisher, we have just only 23,562 active fisher, and another foreigner for fisher for 34,539. So actually, the amount of fisher is quite a lot, but some of them they have name in the system. Some of them may get on board or may not. But this is the active system that we have registered the ships, the fishing the fisher into the system. So if they have their name on the list, so they can get on board. Just only all of those guys can get on board. And before that, before sailing, we're gonna check how many of them to prevent loss of life. If some like we try to eliminate the human trafficking also. And fishing boat, this is in control of my department because I work for marine department in some countries. The fishing department of fishery or kind of fishery staff authority, they control the fishing boat, but in my country it still be in our marine department responsibility to to have a look, to take care of them, and especially to control the number of them. On the 1st of September this year, the total number of fishing boats are, I didn't like to say it, it's 61,692 fishing boats. But actually, the commercial fishing boats, they are just really, I will not only that is much also. It's 10,621 fishing boats. It's a lot, but the most of them they are artisanal fishing boat, which is 51,071 fishing boats. And if I'm allowed to show the graph, which I discussed to my partners. He said, maybe not so good if I show the graph and number. But actually, last year, the number of the fishing boats less up a lot. But because of before the last year, we tried to control the fishing boat in the commercial side. But the artisanal, we don't know the exact number of it. So last year, we opened the system, asked them to come to register the fishing boat to have the license. I would say most of them came to register. So the number is less up a lot. But I also I have heard the issue that some of the fishing boat in artisanal, they don't like to register their boat. This is the issue for Marine Department also, to how to control all of them, because they have a lot. That's why I asked one fellow from SAMSA how they manage the survey on their country. So in the future, maybe I try to talk with my boss that this way maybe efficient to work with. The fishing license has been reported that we have 9,606 license only. For the most is in Gulf of Thailand, because we specify the fishing area in the fishing license also. In Gulf of Thailand, we have 7,702 fishing license, and just only 1,904 fishing license in Andaman Sea. But anyway, they can like move from one side to another side by request to the Department of Fishery for taking grant for moving. The key problems that we got from, I guess, is from the European Commissioner that analyzed, or FAO, analyzed that we have issue on our legal framework, 5 aspects, like poor legal framework, no control fishing license, no control fishing fleet, poor national cooperation, which is true, because in the past, Marine Department and Department of Fishery, we work together, but we talk very less. Marine Department, we just register the fishing boat, we give them license, and the Department of Fishery, they just ask the license from the ship's owner for making the fishing license. But in the past, Department of Fishery, they never asked or verify that the existing of the ship or the license is genuine or not. So they just have a look at the paper, and they issue the license. So this thing we have changed quite a lot, but it's before my age, before I mean, before I joined Marine Department. An ineffective license and registration system. This is why I have I have to confess that um, once we got the question asking how many fishing boats we have in Thailand. We have a look in the system. We have quite a lot, but the existing ship really less. So we have paper license, but we don't have boat. There are some problematic system that we have. Some fishing boat owner, they said, because they have to move their fishing boat to Indonesia, and Indonesia doesn't allow the fishing owner uh, to use Thai fishing boat, and to take the Thai fishing boat back to Thailand. They also have to have Thai license, so they just ignore Thai license and use the same ship, the same boat to register in the Indonesian water. And some of them, they haven't registered actually. They register just only one boat and use like 4 or 5 boats with the same license. This is the problem that we have. And I got this information from the ship's owner actually. I will not say much because it's kind of blaming in the past. So one day, like I said, um, who's gonna do this? Who gonna make the law to regulate our fishing boats? Actually, the law can come from people. They can like draft and propose, but it rarely happen in Thailand. Normally, the draft will come from officials, the 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 department which has authority to control that things. Like if drafting about fishing boat regulation is come from my department, but I don't know why in the past we don't make it. Maybe because of the small officer, maybe the management. I'm not sure. But there is one, I would say, one elite. This is, some of you may know this one. They are not from election. They made what they call coup d'état. This means like to use force to take over the country, which is the policy stuff, politician stuff. I don't like to say it. But the first day I've heard the word strong view policy, which come from this body. I'm not sure it was pushed by somebody outside to make it or not. I don't care. But this body, they didn't come from election, so they don't care the votes. They don't care people. I mean, they don't care a lot about the effect after IU combating. So the normal, the ordinary politician, they always love the vote, so they have to maintain relationship between fishers, fishing owners, and their reputation. So they would not push a lot like this body. So let's see the time change. The timeline. This I have a look. The IU regulation has entered into the force in 2010 because of the IUU fishing issue has been raised. And then the NPCO, the body in the previous, we call NCPO, has established on 22nd May of the 2014. Then the prime minister from NPCO has been selected in 2000 in 24th August the same year. We have got the yellow card from EU actually, but I would like to say easy because EU is mean not European. It's mean Europe people for me. So I think they push NPCO back to combat the IUU fishing, which is good for us. And first movement, they just issue the order. This order is mean like the act in our country because they have gun. They can say anything. It's act. And then the CCCIF, which is called Command Center for Combating Illegal Fishing. This body has been established by PM, our Prime Minister, to combat, to deter the IUU fishing. And actually, there is one more order which is very effective. This is number 10 of the 2015. This is the year in Thailand. It's Buddha era. Actually, we have another one. It's 22 stroke 2007. I mean, issue in 2007. That really affect to fishing fleet a lot because there are revocation order. We have to lock down the fishing boat. We have many measures over there. That order make the officers to do the things to control the fleet, and also giving power to the departments related to combat the IUU fishing. And EU lift the yellow card in 2019. In my title is Victory of Thailand. It seems like victory, but it's not yet. I mean, we may change the status of Thailand, but we have to maintain. Before coming here, the European Commission, EU, they came and visited us in Thailand, but I haven't been there for any presentation. Okay, this is the regulatory framework that has been prepared for planning the work of our IU combating. So we use, actually this one is the Euro Ordinance, Royal Ordinance, but in the same year, actually we have Act before this Royal Ordinance coming, but that Act doesn't give power or authority or responsibility to the Department of Fishery enough to manage the IU combating. Anyway, this one also not yet like enough for combating. Some authority, some responsibility is not enough. They use the NPCO order to help us to manage the things. What we have control in Marine Department, we filling the gap for this fishery, I would say like fishery law, because the ship has been controlled by my department. So why shipyard is concerned? Because we want to control all the life of the fishing boat, like when it's born, when it's die. So where it happened to the fishing boat, it happened in the shipyard. They have to build in the shipyard. They have to demolish in the shipyard. So the shipyard, we have one law to the act to control the shipyard. Shipyard, they have to report, to register, actually register to Marine Department as a shipyard, and then they have to report their activities to our to my department, and then we're gonna verify and check. And also we have Navigation in Thai Water Act, which is control all any the vessels coming to Thailand, even the Thai flag vessel or foreign flag vessel. In flag state, we do the MCS. The MCS, actually, in 2015, we already have VMS in our system, but it really in coming to enforce a lot. And first VMS regulation, we said that the size of fishing boat to have VMS equipment it was 60 tonnage, but once the NPCO order number 22 coming, is changed to 30. So we make more regulation on that. We have logbook, which is very detailed. We have we call PIPO, port in, port out. And also we use the port state measure to control it. This is kind of one of the port state control measure to order every ship to turn on, keep turning on the AIS, so we can track them. If they turn off without any notice or reasonable in the notice, they got a fine. IUU fishing tackling aspect that I think maybe not in Thailand. I mean, maybe there are more aspects, but I talk just really three. For me, I think the most important is fishing boat, and I believe that all of Thai they have agreed. So we think without fishing boat they cannot fish. I mean to go out to the sea, they have to use the fishing boat as a vehicle for making them to there. And also we control the fishing license, fisher or worker also. This concern to the human trafficking also, because in the past actually I have kind of my relatives, he loves drinking, and he was offered a drink by somebody he just met, and then he woke up on the fishing boat and he has to work there. He had to work there. He had to work. If he ignore, then he gonna be like hit or thrown into the water. And once the ship alongside to the port, there are some bodies that accompanied him to go nowhere. I mean, if he wants to go somewhere, they will go with him. And luckily, somehow he escaped from that ship. He went to the police station, and that time I think a lot of officers they knew about these activities, but they just closed their eye. This is very bad. Luckily, it's not me working on the fishing boat because I knew I can handle it for sure. Maybe if it were me, I cannot come here today. Okay, for fisher in the past, there 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 were not paper contracts for them. They just like I said, somebody just put on the boat and go out with the boat, come back and get paid some, but they don't have the contract. It's unfair for them. And the wage payment, um, the practice they have, they just pay some money in advance. It means you got the debt, so you have to pay the debt. You have to pay the debt by working on the ship, on the fishing boat. You cannot refuse. We register the fisherman. We use iris scan, mean eyes, and the face scan for make the database, which is appear to be like the coolest, or the number of the fishes that I've got from the on this database. The Department of Fishery, they set up the sea book for the foreign fishes. Actually, it's kind of some misunderstanding. In the past, I also misunderstood that seaman book is just like ID card for seafarer, but actually it's just like the evidence of employment. If I have been employed, the starting that will be put on the seaman book. If I take leave, so the living that we put over there. But is this good to misunderstood? Because they have to have this seaman book, and this seaman book lead to the legislation of this data correction. So anybody don't have seaman book or sea book, they cannot go get on board the ship. And then we establish the coolest. I will show you, but not so detailed. But it has very specific name. I just knew from the Department of Fishery because I got this question for like years. I couldn't understand why they use that name. And verify fisher by PIPO before the fishing boat go out to the sea. The PIPO office, they have to go to check and verify. But right now we reduce the number of verification. We just make a random to ensure that every life goes out has to come back. Otherwise, in the past, we don't know how many persons lost their life, disappear, and work or less hour has been recorded. They have like sheet of paper they have to fill out. I would say we enforce the ship's owner to put this paper to all of the ship's crew. But I'm honestly say that when I was seaman, somehow we just make it up. But anyway, this is the system has been like implemented. In the future, it might be better. Because of the fishers, they have very low education, so sometimes they don't know their rights to have the less time or the living condition. This I think is kind of the beginning of their living condition. This picture shows that the iris scan. We correct the data, and then this is the officer. Oh, sorry, this is the officers. to log in, he has to register himself by eyes also, and then he register the feature into the system. This photo after actually is after checking, after verify their eyes. I mean, to register the data into the system, and then when the chip go out, this help some officers um, to know who is who, because to us sometimes the feature they are almost the same. By photo, it takes time for the officer to check is it the right person with the document. So for using technologies, it help quite a lot, but hopefully the person who implement this will not hear it. It doesn't work at all. I mean, it's quite difficult to use it because you have to put the station as you see in the photo. So even it doesn't work well, we also have the face scan. We use like you use your smartphone, because your smartphone can recognize your face. So we use that technology to correct data on facial faces. How? This is the process in the past. Right now, process is the same, but some documents we are not required yet anymore, because we have data in the system already. We have linked data to many departments related. So data verification is so so good right now. The starting process to input the system is the fishing boat owner has to request my department to input the data, the face, to make the scan. In the past, they have to submit all of these documents, but not anymore. The data will come from my department. There are ship registry, seaman book, the certificate of competency, if have from, and then the fisher. Some fisher, the foreign fisher, they have to have the work permit. So this data come to this process also. And the sea book for foreign fishers and fishing license is quite important, because fishing license and ship registry, actually in Thai we have another system, I will talk later. These two has to be valid, otherwise the ship cannot sail. If my department issue ship license valid, but Department of Fishery they refuse, then it's all invalid. Or fishing license invalid, valid, but the fishing license invalid because of the fishing boat has not been surveyed something somehow, then it's all invalid. They cannot sail. And then once the officer have all getting requests from fishing owner and have all data from the system will verify to the Department of the Employment, which they have the labor data on their hand. They transfer automatically into the system, and the data verification of the this is the I'm not sure in English name, but it's kind of citizenship registration. I asked, is there any information from the foreign for the foreigner fisher? They said yes, they have in the system. Almost of the fishers, which is foreigner, they have uh, uh, 13 ID number like Thai. We have 13 number. They also have, so we can verify is it the same person or not. Then after check all documents, the officer will take a scan and make photo and scan into the system. And then this is called this document is the coolest. It's kind of coolest, but it's just like the list of the people who can get on board ship. So if you see the second one, this is the hand of the ship's owner. They have crew in hand. So the ship's owner can pick up any crew into their boat. If some crew is not ready, just stay on shore. But if they are ready, they get on board. And the ship's owner inform the PIPO center to have a look. And actually, this data have been submitted to the PIPO, and they issue port in or port out. It depends. And LR is the coolest. This is the one that I confused for years. I don't know what it is, LR. And I asked them, I asked one of the officer in the headquarters, it said it's labor record. So it's another name of the coolest. This is the whole list, the whole crew that the ship's owner have. But this one will be issued after approved from PIPO. PIPO will issue the number. Then they can verify. Once they issue, they may randomly in the step 3. If they random check at the port before leaving or coming in of the fishing boat, they will use their smartphone to take a scan to check. It doesn't like 100% perfect because sometimes there are too much light, like under the sunshine, but they use the umbrella to reduce the light. Or at the dawn or in the evening, the light may come off. So they use flashlight for help, and it works. And anyway, we have to use the officers to verify, to use the scan, the smartphone to scan also. It helps to reduce the time for verification. Technology is not defeat the person, the officers, but to help the officers to make it done. And the output they can have right now, the fisherman contract. We have data in the system. We can just like the ship's owner can just click. The data will be input into the form of the contract, and they can print out, sign. And also, this is the one that Marine Department issue for the ship's owner, the list of the crew that they have on board, on hand. And this list, the ship's owner can select to the vessel just only 10 vessels on hand, because we our law, we allow just only 10 vessels for one ship's owner. The ship's owner cannot have more than that. Otherwise, the ship's owner has to have more wife to put the boat on his wife name, and then another wife maybe if they have like 100 of the fishing vessel. We try to reduce the size of the capacity of fishing owner. That we don't allow them to like invest too much in the harvest too much, harvest the fishing too much. But anyways, still be some gap. Like I said, if the fishing owner has some spouse, a lot of spouse, and also the data can be generated to port in, port out, and labor record We have data in the web service, which can be analyzed, can be have a look the statistic also. This help. Input may take time, but it help us to manage the data to understand it. This is the process we use at the port. At the jetty, we just the ship owner just select. This is a short process to be explained, nothing more than the previous one. The fishing license. The fishing license. This is tricky for the fishing owner because the the fishery department, they issue the fishing license once for 2 years. So if any fishing owner, they miss this circle, so they have to stop fishing for 2 years. And we limit the fishing day on some very high performance fishing gear. Right? We said vessel day scheme, and we specify the fishing gear in the license and random check. They cannot change or use another gear for fishing. We also try to some birth control or reduce the fishing feed size by allow the fishing owner to transfer their fishing day on the fishing days vessel day scheme to another boat, because to have one boat but they can sell 200 days a year is not enough for them, so they can increase more. But by taking from another boat, then another boat will have the day reduced and until 0, and they demolish that fishing boat. Artisanal fishery, which have the high performance fishing gear, they have to be in the fishing in the commercial fishing. They are not artisanal anymore. We consider that fishing logbook to be record. This is the high performance fishing gear. Even you are artisanal fishing size, you have to be licensed and you have to be controlled. Okay. Department of Fishery try to, like I said, to apply the tag on the license. Some license, some kind of the fishing gear, we apply the tag, and we limit fishing day on the vessel. They can have 365 years a day per year for fish. We put the day off for them. We put some control area on the sea, so they cannot go out and fish. We reduce the number of the license. Like I said, we transfer the fishing day on the fishing boat. Okay, testability. I think this applicable to many countries, so I will not say much. But fishing logbook, the fishing boat captain, they have to record, to input, and they cannot ignore. Otherwise, it's gonna be fine money. For fishing boat in my department, I try to wrap up. Sorry. We went out, verify the fishing boat number, the existence of them, because like I said, first time we don't know how many of them, but right now we kind of know quite exact how many of them, especially the commercial size fishing boat. We locked the non-fishing license boat. We have, because confusing from the existent fishing boat, so we mark the UVI on the fishing boat to help us to prevent the double license on fishing boat. I show you later to make the VMS to demolish some fishing boat for reduce the fishing fish size, port in, port out control, fishing boat, trade back government. This we buy back the fishing boat, but it's tricky. Actually, there are just only a few fishing boats owner get paid from our government. And we revoke the fishing license if they have like 3 months expiry. It means they didn't care, so we revoke right away. This amendment for empower Marine Department, because in the past we have really less capacity to make the law for control the IU vessel. This is kind of lock that we have done. We have a small tag right here, lock it up on the ship's view, and we paint to make visible to the officers to have a look. This is kind of like, if they just use something to cut, they just say right away. But we lock it out. If they cut, they're gonna get fined a lot. We try to use this to apply the law to the fishing owner vessel. Okay, and this is a UVI remark. It helped somehow to prevent the double license. And this is the demolish process, which is better to explain in the photo. We Marine Department have to, you may see me somewhere here, to verify they are really demolish the fishing boat. So we have to verify before they do, to check is this the same boat in the license, and there will be fishery department delegate, Marine Department and the fishing owner has to be together before, during, and after demolish. This is in Thailand, but also outside Thailand. This is my colleagues. They went to, I'm not sure where, some in India. They went there and witness for demolish. License control. We control ship license, fishing license, and we have more correlation between Marine Department and Fishery Department of Fishery. Okay, this is how we share the data. For new build, we don't have right now registration. All of this information has to be together, to share together, to control the license if change ownership, and the revocation of some demolition also. Okay, new regulatory body. We have PIPO because of this. Yeah, we have new law to establish, and actually this is a CCCIF, but the important is the Prime Minister is the head of this organization, so it's quite work well, because you don't do, you get sacked, fired. Okay, I think this is it. Actually, before presentation, I think I'm gonna make like 15 minutes. It never happened to me. Thank you very much for listening.